now that we have coded our answer sheet, we need to create our answers and we need to code our answer sheet with the correct answers. If you remember, the last time when we put in answers, we just put in an answer of one for everything. So now we're going to go back and we're going to fix all of that. So I have a template here that I have shared with you that you are welcome to use. And basically, it just gives you the title. So, Mystery Pixel Directions gives directions to the students to answer each of the questions on the following slides, take the answer and place it on the Mystery Pixel sheet, which I might link in here. If you have the answer correct, you will see pixels pop up on your screen. Once you get all of the answers correct, you will see the full picture. Good luck. And then the second slide that I've given them is just a quick tip that if you can't see the whole spreadsheet, that you want to zoom out until you can. And you're going to let the students know how many rows and how many columns there are so that they are making sure that they see it all within their screen. And then you've got slides that look just like this. I put in a background that looks like pixels. You are welcome to just use this or create your own. It's just a simple Google slide. I have got my title here, Mystery Pixel Question, and I would just fill in which question we're on and then type my question down here. So I actually have most of them filled in already because this would take us a while. Um, but so this is the first slide. This would be question number one. And you can put in any sort of question here. If you are reviewing for math class or ELA, they can be specifically related to content areas. You will notice that some of my questions are really just for fun. Here, extreme weather. I did this one for a fourth grade class that was doing extreme weather, but it's really just for fun. Um, we've got some math problems in here. These are questions specifically that only that fourth grade class would know, things like that. I've got some riddles in here for them. So let's come up with a question. I might do something like this, a math related question. So, what is the area of the rectangle below? Let's draw a rectangle and let's give them some dimensions. Let's tell them it's a 3 by 7. And so the students would need to figure this out. So then what we're going to do is we are going to open up our answer sheet. And so you can see all of my work. I've put in all my answers as one so far. So what we're going to do is let's just go ahead and delete all of these and you're going to see my pixels starting to disappear. Okay. So, question number one. Now, I will tell you that it might be helpful to print out your slideshow with and then write down the answers so you don't have to keep toggling back and forth. So, let's see. Question number one. Our answer is we have an area of 3 times 7. So, our answer is going to be 21. Up to you if you just want to make them say 21. Maybe you want them to say 21 square units. You might get into it's a little bit tricky because if you're telling the computer that the answer is 21 square units, however you type that in, that's how the kids need to type it in. So if you abbreviate square and abbreviate units, the kids also need to know how to do that. So in this case, I'm just going to put that the answer is 21. So I'm going to click on this box where it says answer. And I am going to come up to format and click conditional formatting. And here is where I've told my spreadsheet if the answer here is right now 1, that it's going to fill in. You can see the squares getting highlighted down there green, that they'll turn this brown color. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this formula. And it brings up my formula. And here is where we put in that the answer is 1. And we're going to change this to 21. And we're going to click done. Now, if I enter 1 in here, notice nothing lights up. But if I type in 21, now my pixels show. All right, so question number 2 is which is not a type of extreme weather? Sharknado, debatable. So that is B. So we're going to Here again, my conditional format rules are already up. My question to answer is highlighted, so I'm just going to click on the formula and I'm going to change the 1 to a B. And you can check that out. So if we type in B, yep, there we go. So if you're typing in letters, you need to put quotation marks around them. Otherwise, it's not going to recognize it as the answer. So there's B. So let's actually just go through and let's put these in. B. All right, number 3. Okay, so what part of speech is the underlined word in the following sentence? Ran is a verb. So number 3, conditional formatting here. We want to change this to verb. And I can't remember if you need to have quotation marks around this or not. So yes, we do. So if it is, if the answer is a number, you do not need to have quotation marks. If the answer includes letters, you need to have those quotation marks. All right, so let's go through and code the rest. So we have all of our answers coded. One thing I'd like to point out is let's use question number 2 as an example. The answer is B. So if I pull up the conditional formatting, I just want you to take a look at my formula. So I have that the answer has to be B. Notice that I've put it in as a capital B. If the students enter it, right now I have it entered it as a capital B. If the students enter it as, let's get rid of it, lowercase b, it will still work. So the case does not matter, but spelling does matter for them. Now, the other thing that you might want to do is you notice that they're all changing the color that we've coded them to be, right? So if um, when we answer question number 1 correctly, it turns brown down here, and notice it's up here as well. So if you want to get rid of this and just clean it up a little bit, if I click on that square, or it's not a square, but that rectangle, that cell, and go back to conditional formatting. Now, this cell is B2. So I'm going to open my formatting rules. And if I click over here to the apply to range, I can find B2, and it's most likely going to be the first one, and I can delete it and then click OK. And now it's going to make that so that cell stays white, and it just might be easier for students to see their answers. So let's go through and do this to all of them. There we go. All right. Scroll to the top, B3, delete, okay, and make sure you click done. All right, so now we're going to look at B4, click, apply to range, scroll to the top, oh, and it's B5. So I'm looking at the question, I should be looking at the row numbers. So delete, okay, done. So making sure that you click done after each one is really important. So let's All right, and now you've gotten rid of all of those, so it cleans it up really nicely. So as your students are entering their answers, they can see. And you have now coded your first mystery pixel. So good luck with doing your own. We would love to see what you create. So as you create these, share these with us. We have a place on the coach's website where you can start adding materials and resources that you'd like to share out with the SU. That would be a great place to start adding these. Just make sure that if you share these, that you set them to view only so that people are forced to make a copy for themselves, including your students. So as you share these with your students, you want to make sure that each student gets a copy. So either make a copy for each student within Google Classroom or set it to view only so that students have to make a copy themselves.